Good morning students. Today we will start with chapter first of first flight. The chapter is a letter to God. So this chapter it is written by G.L. Fluentis. So now we will start with the just a summary or just a few lines that is like a letter to God. As the title says, letter to God. So here in this chapter the letter is written to God. So as we know that while posting the letter there should be address mentioned on the letter, then only it will reach the place you want. But as we know that no one knows God's address, so it is difficult to post the letter to God. Now but in this story the main character, that is Lancho, in this story he is a poor farmer. So he writes the letter to God. So he thinks that he will get the reply of that letter. So here we will see that how much faith we are having in anything or anybody. So the summary of the chapter is: A Letter to God is a story written by G.L. Fluentis, Gregorio Lopen Fluentis. Full name is Gregorio Lopen Fluentis. A Letter to God is a story of a farmer's extreme faith. Here the farmer Lancho, the main character, a poor farmer, he is having extreme faith. He is having very much faith in God. So the writer G.S. Fluentis has tried to depict the faith of a poor and simple farmer in God in an impressive manner. Here the writer G.L. Fluentis, he tried to show the faith of a poor and simple farmer in an attractive manner, in an impressive manner. So there is, in your book on the first page there is before you read, means before we jump into the story, in the original story there are some lines that will show you the outline of the story. So Lancho is a farmer, he is a protagonist, means the main character Lancho, the main character, he is a farmer who writes a letter to God. Writes a letter to God. Why he writes a letter to God? Because his crops are ruined. Ruined means destroyed. He writes a letter to God when his crops are ruined, means destroyed. They are fully destroyed. Asking for 100 pesos. Means now if the crops are destroyed, if he want to grow the crops, he needs money. So he is suffering from the loss that the crops are ruined, so he was suffering from loss. So he needs money and he demands the money from God by writing a letter, and he demands how much money? 100 pesos. So does Lancho, now what are the questions that arises through the story are: does Lancho's letter reach God? Means the letter that the Lancho has written, does it reach the God? Does God send him the money? If any case the letter reaches the God, then God send him the money. Then think what your answers to these questions would be, and guess how the story continues before you begin to read it. Now these questions we ourselves we have to answer. That does the letter it will reach to God? As we know that we need address, proper address, we need accurate address, we need to post the letter so that it can reach the proper destination. So we know that there is no address to God. So does the letter will reach to God? If we say that the letter will reach the God, does the God will reply? Does he will help Lancho? He will give him 100 pesos. So this we will see in the story. So students, thank you. This much for today. So we will continue with the story tomorrow in next video. Stay safe, stay healthy.